Hey y'all, today we're going to do baked chicken, which tastes like fried chicken. And the first thing we're going to do is marinate our chicken, and this is a whole cut up chicken, already cut up from the store. I've washed it real good and put it in this big baggie. And then I don't have buttermilk. If you have buttermilk, use it if you want to. Or there's paint on this cup that's not dirty. But, I mean, it is dirty, but it's not. But anyway, I put this glass full of milk, and I put some vinegar in it. And that's what I'm going to use for the buttermilk. It thickens it, and the vinegar will help make your chicken more moist and tender. So I'll put this down and show you that I'm pouring this cup of milk, buttermilk, into the chicken. I'm going to close it up and make sure that you have it closed up real good, because you don't want it to leak everywhere. And then I'm going to let it kind of spread out, and I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator for several hours, and every so often I'll turn it over, and then when we're ready for the next step, I'll be back. So I'll see you in a little bit. We're back for the next part of making our baked fried chicken, and I'm just going to show you what I do. So I'm going to bring you down. And this is a big bowl. This is just how I do it. If you have a better way that serves you, then do it your way. But this is self-rising flour. And I'm putting a good amount of it. That's probably a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups. And then I just pick out all the seasonings that I think I want to put on my chicken. And I don't put too much of anything because I don't want one flavor to overpower the rest. But that's barbecue, and this is chili. I'd say I put about a tablespoon of each one. This is poultry. Onion powder. Cumin. You can put any of the seasonings you want. Put less. You could just put salt and pepper if you want to. Paprika. Just put what you like. This is adobo. And this is garlic. So once you have the seasonings in that you want to use, just stir them around. And get them all mixed up well. And then here is my chicken that you saw me put the buttermilk in earlier. And I'm just going to pour off all that broth. Or not broth, but milk. I tried to get most of it, but anyway, now I'm going to take all my pieces of chicken, and I'm leaving what buttermilk is on them there. I'm not washing it off or anything, but just put it around in your flour. I wouldn't try to bring over a lot of the buttermilk with the piece of chicken, but you know, you don't wash it off. So once you have all your chicken in there, just start turning your chicken over and getting it all floured up. Shouldn't take but a minute. A lot of people like to put it in like a gallon size bag and do it, and that's an excellent idea. I just like to do it this way. Sometimes I do it that way. But once all your pieces are floured, you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. And that helps the flour adhere to the chicken when you're baking it. Or if you were frying it, it would help when you were frying it for the flour to stay on there. So I'm just trying to get this nice and floured up. And I'm just about done. And with this meal today, we're going to have some cabbage and some coleslaw. But about anything you want to fix would go with this. So I'm going to let that just sit in that flour, like I said, for about 10 minutes and let the flour get really adhered to it. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And now we're going to take our pan. I'm going to cook in the bottom rack of a broiler pan. And I've already panned this. And now I'm going to use some canola oil to cook in. I've got my oven preheating to 375. It just now preheated. I'm going to put oil on the pan. And I'm putting probably 3/4 a cup or so. You want to have plenty of oil on your pan for your chicken to cook in. I'm sticking that in the oven and going to let it get hot. And when we come back in about 10 minutes, I'll put the chicken on the pan and let it start cooking. So I'll see you back shortly. The chicken has sat in the bowl about 10 minutes and the oil is hot. So now I'm going to put the chicken into the pan and get it in the oven. So here's the pan. And here's the chicken. And I'm just going to take pieces and I'm going to put the more meaty side down. You can hear it sizzling as it goes in the oil. I'm going to wash my fingers real quick. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the pan. I might have said stick it in the pan. I meant stick it in the oven. And I'm going to let it go about half hour to 40 minutes. I'll keep checking and I'll turn it and then I'll probably show you when I turn it, and then I'll take it out and you'll see what it looks like. We're back, and one side of the chicken is cooked, and we're going to turn it over and get the other side of the chicken done. And it went about a half hour on this side, so you can see it's got a nice brown crust, and some of that coloring comes from the spices that were used. But I'm going to get this turned over and get it put back in the oven and get the other things prepared that we're going to have with supper, and I'll show you a plate. I want to bring this up to the camera so you can see just a little bit better. So anyway, I'll stick it back in the oven and I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, the chicken is finished, and here it is. And it turned out really nice and crispy, and I let it go about 15 more minutes after I turned it. I'm going to set it down here and finish fixing my husband's plate. I have some cabbage and some coleslaw, both I made. And he likes legs and thighs a lot, so I'm going to give him a thigh and a leg. So there is his plate. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you get a chance to make this sometime. And it tastes a lot like you have fried it, but you have baked it actually, and it has that, just all the taste of fried chicken. It's just a lot easier, I feel like, to bake it, and not as messy, and maybe a little healthier. I'm not sure about that. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.